This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me, Travis, with PlayerProps.ai, and this is where we're locking in for Tuesday's MLB games. Quick recap of yesterday, which was the national championship game for college basketball. We did a show for you guys as well. The hope was that Houston would not completely forget how to play basketball in the final, 3, 4, 5 seconds of the game. If you go for the win and you shoot a three, and it rims out or doesn't do anything, it is what it is. Shots don't go in 100% of the time. But the fact that this man with the ball didn't even get a final shot up because he did some kind of like hop jump step thing on right around the 3-point line, and then instead of screaming to his teammates, somebody come get this ball because if I touch it, it's going to be traveling, he just like boxes out people and just watches the ball roll slowly down the court. I don't know. I feel like his brain just like melted. He didn't know what to do, and then by the time one of his teammates realized what was going on, he dove for the ball and didn't get with 1.2 seconds left, and the Florida Gators won their third national title. One of the props we did on our show, or the main prop we did on our show, was Clayton under 22.5, I believe, was the line that we had, and he started off sluggishly and he got a lot of points in the second half, but he still finishes under, so that one definitely hit. Shout out to IGMeStar, which is a Discord username of one of our users. He won the PlayerProps.ai bracket challenge. So because he got first place, he won an entire year of PlayerProps.ai premium for free, and he gets his very own unique, customized, personalized PlayerProps.ai brand ambassador hoodie. Going to the show that we did yesterday, it was a very, very long show, and the purpose of making sure that you watched every second of yesterday's show for the MLB plays was to see how we don't force things. If you see something that you kind of like, don't force it. You want to make sure that you really, really like something because it's your hard-earned money going on the bet. So it is your responsibility to make sure that your hard-earned money is only being bet on things that you really, really like. And so there's things that we were looking at we kind of liked, but there's like, oh, I don't like this. This is on the ban list. We went through a bunch of different things, and we wound up going with Boston Moneyline against Toronto. And anyone who paid attention to MLB yesterday realizes that as soon as our show dropped and blasted on YouTube and everywhere, Toronto Blue Jays goes, oh, well, if PlayerProps.ai doesn't favor us to win, we probably should switch the starting pitcher. So they pull out this no-name guy who Boston probably would have lit up and won, for Barrios, who's actually a pretty decent pitcher. Of course, we had no idea when we recorded the show, so it is what it is, but it was kind of screwed up that they decided to do that after the fact. But one of the plays that we were 99% going to be locking in before I just decided to continue looking was Sadi on the Athletics, and I think we were going over 0.5 hits, runs, RBIs. This man got 2 home runs. I don't even think they're solo shots either. So he probably had somewhere like 10 hits, runs, RBIs. Yeah, it's very frustrating that we were trying not to force things, and the things that we kind of passed on because we didn't want to force things are things that like actually wound up hitting. But you're not necessarily just betting one thing every single day. So if you watch this show, if it's something that you like and then you see me move on from it, you can still bet it if you want to. Just make sure you do a lot less of your bankroll. So we're not saying like the only thing you should be betting on is the play we wind up doing. If it's something that looks decent but not amazing, you can still bet on it if you want to. Just make sure you're doing a lot less because, again, it's your hard-earned money. You only want to put your hard-earned money on things that you're confident in. If you're not confident in it and you're still going to bet it, still going to force it, just make sure that you do less. But I recommend not forcing it if you're not 100%, yes, I want to bet on this. So let's go ahead and see what we have here for today for MLB Tuesday, April 8th. Later today, I'll be going to the G League NBA Finals. The Osceola Magic are in the finals. They already have a title they won maybe, I don't know how long ago it was. It was a handful of years ago. They won a title as the Orlando Magic G League affiliate, and they're back in it. Mac McClung, the three-time back-to-back-to-back three-peat slam dunk champion, is breaking all kinds of records as I think his game in the Eastern Conference Finals, he had like 42 points, which was a team record in the playoffs. So I'll be going to that later today. It's be pretty fun. Hopefully the Magic win because we won another title here. We're going to do what we always do. We're going to start with strikeouts. We're going to change the line to 3. And then if you remember what I did yesterday. So last week we were doing 23 on difference, but now we're going to do 19 because we were looking at, I think it was like a 5.5 line that had 19% difference, but it still had that 1.0 difference between the line and the actual projection value. So just those two things. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 6 pitchers technically that hit those two things. So if I want to weed that down a little bit more, let's only focus on pitchers that are predictable, 50 plus accuracy. And that takes us to 1. So maybe we have to reset that because Patrick Corbin, you may be like, oh, hey, he checks all the boxes, right? No, because his line right now for the over is minus 105. And if you ever see minus 105, it's a guarantee the other side is favored. So we click on under and see this. Underside is minus 125. So even though it has a minus, that doesn't mean it's favored. Minus 105 typically means, or not always means, the other side's favored. Minus 110 typically means it's minus 110 both sides, but I have seen one side minus 110 and the other side minus 120. That just means the books hate you and they don't want to pay you. So they juice both sides. But I mean, everything else here, he hasn't started yet this season. Patrick Corbin's been in the league for quite some time. To finish off last season, you see here, he had 6 straight games of getting 4 strikeouts or more. 2 of them were 8 strikeout games. Then his last game against Kansas City, which is all Kansas City doesn't strike out anyway, and he got 3 against them. First in the Chicago Cubs here. His head-to-head pitching against the Cubs, if we're going all the way back, so 5-4 here is last season, and these 2 were 2 seasons ago. So if we just focus on last season, he versed the Cubs 3 times in his pitching starts, 6 Ks, 6 Ks, and 4 Ks in his most recent one. His line is 3.5. He hasn't pitched yet this season as a starter, or in general. So if I'm looking at, like, this righty-lefty stuff is just based on last season because he hasn't pitched yet this year. He versed 586 righties, 17.6. So he's a lot better against lefties than righties. But I don't really, it's not a trifecta because, like I said before, the sportsbooks favor the under. So let's look at these other ones here real quick. 6.1 projection. Oh, he's versus Kansas City. Man, I was just about to get excited to look at this guy, even though his accuracy is meh. But Kansas City, if you go to the MLB ban list channel inside of our Discord, which is one of our free channels in our free Discord, you will see that there's a rule that says we do not bet over K props versus Kansas City. And Pablo Lopez is versus Kansas City. Now, does Kansas City this season, do they strike out a whole lot more than they did last season? We can check that. That's why there's this team tool here that's 100% free to use. Just go to MLB. We're looking for Kansas City. So let's sort by the fewest strikeouts so far this season. Yeah, and Kansas City still top seventh fewest strikeouts. They're a very unstrikeouty team. 7.56 strikeouts on average. Their last game they only struck out 6 times. Or the last 3 games they averaged 6 strikeouts. The last one they struck out 7. They do strike out away a lot more than they strike out at home, but Kansas City typically has bats that they focus on not striking out. So Kansas City still is not striking out too often. 4.5 line. He's got 100% head-to-head, though, but the last he only versed them twice last season. 328, 812, 7 and 5. But it's just a rule we got. We don't go over on Kansas City. This rule has helped us out, saved us some money so far this season. We go one more down. We got another one that's 1.03 over. 100% head-to-head Kyle Freeland. He's been doing okay this season. He got 7 Ks against Tampa Bay, 3 against Philly. Let's see here. 70 degrees. Not too crazy windy. It doesn't look like it's going to be raining. So everything looks good here, except for the fact that this man is very unpredictable. 35% accuracy. But this might actually be the fact of him, like, his home and away splits. So what I mean by that is he probably does decent when he's not pitching in the one of the most batter-friendly ballparks of Colorado. Like, that's why you always want to like go again. You want to pick Colorado bats or people versing Colorado whenever they're playing in Colorado, because it's very friendly to the batters, and this game is in Colorado. Brewers are favored to win because they got Freddie Peralta. He's probably going to rack up some Ks. This guy's line start at 4.5, and it's now 3.5. So it's cheaper. I mean, his projection was 4.53, which is kind of on par exactly with what he opened with the 4.5 line. But I don't know. I don't think... Let me check the ban list on Colorado. We don't do under props versus Colorado, which we're not looking at that right now. There's nothing on the ban list. There's nothing here that says don't do Kyle Freeland over 3.5 Ks, except for the fact that his accuracy is at 35 through 20 games recorded, which tells us that Kyle Freeland is a very unpredictable pitcher. He's so far this season, he's got a 20% strikeout rate against righties, 21.4% against lefties. So he's striking out both sides. Yeah, I don't see... This accuracy is the only thing, though. And he's pitching in a very hitter-friendly ballpark. But that's only... I guess the hitter-friendliness only really matters on how quickly they can take him out of the game. If he's going to get 4 strikeouts, he's going to get 4 strikeouts regardless, which is what he needs to hit the 3.5 line. But we're just trying to factor in, is he going to get those 4 before the Milwaukee bats light him up and drive him out of the game? So it's not can he strike out people. He can strike out people. It just, is he going to get 4 before Milwaukee destroys him? Everything else except for the accuracy. Framber Valdez versus Seattle. If you check the MLB ban list channel, we do not do under props against Seattle, but we do over props against Seattle. And he also has a 1.2 difference between his pitching strikeout line, which you see here, 5.5. So track that from his projection of 6.7. That is 1.2. He's got 2 starts this season. Mets, 4 Ks. Last start, he had 9 Ks. Last time he versed Seattle, which was the second to last game of his starts last season, he only got 4. Everything checks out for those 2 guys. I'm looking at everybody else here. Chris Sale has, yeah, so there's 3. So there's 3 pitchers that are playable here that aren't versing a team that's on our ban list. So we have Kyle Freeland against Milwaukee at 3.5. Framber Valdez over 5.5 against Seattle. And then Chris Sale, 6.5. His projection is 7.73, and that is a 1.23 difference versus Philly. Let me do something here real quick. No, I was gonna just segment by the games here. So we need to find the one that makes the most sense. 35% accuracy, 30.8% accuracy. Chris Sale, 39.3% accuracy. We got 3 playable things that all have sub 40% accuracy. Everything else looks good. If we pay attention to... Okay, so let's go through the things we don't like about these 3, right? So we don't like the fact that Kyle Freeland's pitching in Colorado. And we don't like the fact he has a 35% accuracy. We don't like the fact that Framber Valdez, in his last start against Seattle, only got 4, which over the last 2 seasons, he has a head-to-head of 64% against them. We also like the fact he's got a 30.8% accuracy. Chris Sale, 100% accuracy against Philly. 39.3% accuracy. So technically, he's got the highest accuracy, as sad as that is, against Philadelphia. Looks like he pitched against them once last year, got 7 Ks, and then 2023 season got 10 against them. If we look at his last 20 starts, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Missed 7 out of the last 20. It's 65%. His 2 starts this season, 7 and 5. 5 against the Dodgers. I like pitchers that are like elite aces. Chris Sale, like in his prime, was an elite ace. He's probably one of the best pitchers in baseball. But is he elite still? I mean, they give him a 6.5 strikeout line. But the fact that he barely did that against San Diego and then didn't do it against Dodgers, granted, he got kind of screwed on the first 2 starts. He got the number 1 fewest strikeoutiest team, least strikeoutiest team. Yes, I'm going to keep saying that every show, every season. You're going to hate it. And then he versed the hottest, best bats on paper, defending champs LA Dodgers. Now he has another team that's probably, top 10 in World Series odds, somewhere around there, I'm guessing. So we got 7 against San Diego, 5 against Dodgers, 39.3%. Man, this is tough. What if we just do all 3? Whatever the amount of money that you would have wagered on one of them, just divide it by 3. Do all 3, and then as singles, which I swear, if I find out that all you're doing is taking these things and throwing it into parlays, I'm going to find out where you live. I'm going to punch you in the face. These are single plays. If you are only doing parlays, if you're doing like 5-pick plus, I know like in the States we only have like Prize Picks and Underdog, you have to do 2 minimum. But if you're doing more than that on what I am teaching you on the show, I'm going to punch you in the face. Don't do it. But yeah, this may bite us in the butt. This may be horrendous. But whatever amount that you were going to do for the single, because typically we only focus on one in the show, divide that by 3. Do not do that times 3. So let's say, based on your bankroll management of the 20-80-20 rule, and if you're like, hey, Travis, what's the 20-80-20 rule? That means you're not in the Discord and you don't have your account synced, because that's the first thing you see in the Discord after you join the free Discord and sync your free PlayerProps.ai account. Man, rough day today. Anywho, the 20-80-20 rule is how you're going to lose less often. That's the number 1 reason why all of the people in Discord have the success they're having. That's why they're dropping screenshots daily, because they practice and follow the guidelines that is addressed in the Discord, which you should be in. If you're not in there, stop betting. You do not care enough about winning. If you don't do the free stuff, you don't care enough about winning. I don't want you betting until you care enough about winning that you're going to do all the free stuff at least. But I think that's what we're looking at here. So whatever the amount would normally have been, let's say it was like $20. Let's say $20, not saying to bet $20. If the bankroll management guidelines of the 20-80-20 rule says $20 for a single on whatever we do here, then you just divide it by 3. So 20 can't be divided by 3 evenly, but you take the 20, you divide it by 3. Kyle Freeland over 3.5. And we're actually going to look at actually before I say the lines, let me look at the props comparison here. Yeah, 6.5. Chris Sale, 6.5. Kyle Freeland, 3.5. And then Valdez, 5.5. So you take the amount, you divide it by 3. You do not just take the amount, and then you do the amount again, and then you do the amount again. You take the amount you would have normally done on a single, divide it by 3, put it on each of these 3. Now, if your bankroll management allows you to do all 3 of them collectively, you can do that as well. But that is, again, 20% of the whatever your bankroll is. So again, if you have $20, I'm trying to get like an exact number here for you. So you put, you have $20 exactly based on your bankroll management of your 20 percentages for today, based on your bankroll today. Let's do 6, 6, 6, 2. So you do an $18 split between the 3. So you do 6 on Valdez, 5.5, 6 on Sale, 6.5, 6 on Freeland, 3.5, and then the $2 left over, you can do that as a 3-pick parlay. I swear, again, if you are watching all of these things and you are ignoring everything I'm telling you, and then you have the audacity to complain because you did something what I'm telling you a million times not to do and it doesn't work out for you, I'm going to punch you in the face. Follow the gosh dang guidelines. People are successful when they follow the guidelines. People are not successful when they don't follow the guidelines. That's just how this works. You cannot beat the books. The books are billion, multi-billion, probably trillion in a few years, dollar companies for a reason. Because it is near impossible. It is 99% impossible to win long-term against the books. You have to have a certain set of skills. You have to follow certain guidelines. The only way to win long-term is to follow those guidelines. That's what PlayerProps.ai is. It's a educational resource, research app to not only give you all the data, all the projections, everything you need, but also give you all the education you need to make sure that you're not shooting yourself in the foot way before you ever lock in a bet. I really hope this doesn't come back to bite us in the butt because we have never really done something like this on one of the MLB shows in the last year. But hopefully it works out for us. We'll see what happens. Good luck, everybody. Go Osceola Magic. Hopefully we win Game 1 of the NBA G League Finals. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.